From downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at noon starts now.
President Trump releases a controversial new gun control plan overnight, prompting fierce debate across Washington and the nation. Plus, in just over an hour, the trial begins for the man accused of intentionally hitting and killing an Oakland County Sheriff's deputy with his car. Brandon?
4 live radar showing snow in spots, others staying dry, but snow incoming.
It's just falling. Isn't it beautiful? I think everybody's getting kind of towards the over it stage. Once you spring forward with the clocks, you're like, okay, we're ready for spring.
Well, soon enough, the no snow guarantee is coming out. Looking ahead, and things are finally starting to take shape here for signs of spring. Meanwhile, a lot of winter in the air today. Light snow coming down at Metro Airport, a northwest wind there of 5, so 33 degrees. Feels a little bit colder, but it's not real windy today. Visibility reduced at times due to these light snow showers. Here's a close-up look, and you can see again some of the light snow. The darker shades of blue on radar just tell us slightly heavier snow bands, and we're seeing that and have seen that in parts of our west zone. Again, in Livingston County, starting to see a little bit more moderate snow, and you see the Lansing area too is producing some snow showers that are pivoting back into our west zone, and so it will start filling in a little bit more even here on the east side. And one thing that we really want to watch out for are these occasional heavier snow bands. Not going to do much as far as accumulation, but a quick coating makes everything real slippery, reduces visibility. So middle to late afternoon, I think especially, Rhonda, we'll see more of those, and we have more snow for your Tuesday forecast coming up.
All right, Brandon, thank you. Meanwhile, Deputy Eric Overall was struck by a vehicle and left for dead back in November of 2017. Today, the man accused of driving the vehicle and intentionally hitting Overall will face a judge. Christopher Burak is charged with first-degree premeditated homicide and murder of a police officer. Our Nick Monticelli has been closely following the case against Burak and joins us with the latest.
Good afternoon. This hearing gets underway in just a little over an hour from right now, and it is a pretty big deal considering that there are 2 things that they're looking at. Number one, the evidence and the witnesses to see if there is enough to move this case forward. And also, they will be talking about the mental health, the mental competency of the defendants. The last time Christopher Burak shuffled into court was for a probable cause hearing, wearing a Macomb County jumpsuit, because that's where he's being held. His attorney did not hesitate to ask the judge for a mental health and competency exam. Burak allegedly told police before his chase he was God and made other statements that his lawyer clearly believes means some kind of diminished capacity. Burak allegedly killed Oakland County Deputy Eric Overall on Thanksgiving morning after a police chase. Investigators believe Burak intentionally swerved to hit Overall. Outside the courtroom after that first hearing, Deputy Eric Overall's widow, Sonia, spoke for the first time about the devastation her husband's death has meant to her and the people in their lives.
We're all trying to cope as best we can. This has not only affected me, but the thousands that are mourning him. He will never set foot outside a jail cell.
And again, while this case is a very big deal, this exact hearing is only one step in the process. If the judge thinks there is enough in all of this case to move it to the next level, it'll just be a matter of going to circuit court where all of this starts over again. I'm Nick Monticelli, Local 4.
All right, Nick, thank you. New here at noon, one man is killed in an officer-involved shooting in Midland. This happened early this morning. Midland police say that a suspect fleeing a breaking and entering scene pointed a gun at the officer, and the officer opened fire, shooting and killing the suspect. An internal investigation is underway. Meanwhile, President Trump is taking the first step toward putting guns in the hands of teachers nationwide. Overnight, the White House released his plan to make schools safe and deal with gun violence. But the new plan is not without its controversy. President Trump's plan includes the Justice Department training volunteer teachers to carry guns in school.
Schools have to be protected like every other large gathering place. We protect stadiums, we protect theaters, we protect airports, and we need to make sure that schools are protected in the same way.
He's also supporting an effort in Congress to strengthen background checks.
To make sure that the flow of information that goes in the background check system from local and state courts is more updated, real-time information is made available.
Not quite the universal background checks the president seemed to support in discussions after the Parkland shooting.
We should be having a gun debate on the floor of the United States Senate.
The White House plan expands mental health programs and allows protection orders to temporarily take guns from people deemed dangerous. He's leaving it up to each state whether to raise the age limit from 18 to 21 to buy semi-automatic weapons. The NRA is firmly against that and has already sued the state of Florida, which recently approved raising that age limit to 21. And we continue to follow a developing story from Detroit's west side, where a woman was shot to death on Sunday night. Police say that a 23-year-old woman was in a car with her boyfriend. It was parked in front of a home on Mark Twain near Joy and Hubble Roads when someone walked up to that vehicle and started shooting, and the shots killed the woman. The boyfriend wasn't injured. The shooter got away, and the motive for the shooting still remains unknown. Right now, a series of deadly fires are under investigation all across Metro Detroit. Sadly, 3 children were killed in an East Point house fire over the weekend, as well as a deadly condominium fire in Southfield and another at a home in Livonia. But we do start in Madison Heights, where a massive fire raged out of control earlier this morning. Take a look at Sky 4 over the scene. This home is on Algar Street near I-696 there in Madison Heights, where crews worked all morning to try to put out these flames. Right now, no reports of serious injuries. Investigators are working to learn what may have caused that fire. And over in East Point, a community is shaken after a fire on Sunday morning claims the lives of 3 young children. Police say that the children ages 9, 8, and 4 were left home alone when that fire broke out Sunday morning. Firefighters were unable to save the children due to the extreme heat and smoke pouring out of the home when they arrived. Now family and community members are feeling the loss of those adorable children.
3 little kids, okay. I just saw them 2 days ago. I just saw them 2 days ago. Oh my God. Literally 2 days ago. Okay.
You're witnessing the grief of a cousin to those children. No word yet on any exact cause of that fire, but a preliminary investigation reveals the home didn't even have working fire detectors, so those kids really didn't have a chance. Police and fire investigators in Livonia continue to gather evidence from this scene that happened earlier this morning. A fatal fire there where crews reached a burning house on Grove Street near 6 Mile and Farmington Roads, only to find an elderly woman dead inside of that home. She has not yet been identified. The cause of that fire is still being investigated. Over in Southfield, one woman is dead after a condominium fire over the weekend. This one happened at the Greenbrook Park homes on 10 Mile and Telegraph around 5 o'clock in the morning on Sunday. A neighbor told Local 4 that the woman who died in the fire is a mother of 2. The victim's name has not yet been released. Over to the city of Troy, where Troy needs now to hire a new city manager now that the city council has fired Brian Kishnick from that position. Troy's city council voted unanimously in an emergency meeting on Sunday night to fire Kishnick after he was charged with domestic assault over the weekend. He allegedly argued with a woman during an Uber ride on Friday night, and outside of the vehicle, he allegedly tackled that woman to the ground. Troy's mayor guarded his comments after last night's firing.
We don't want to put the city of Troy in any jeopardy as far as lawsuits or potential lawsuits, so I'm going to defer to our council.
Kishnick, by the way, denies all allegations against him. A chaotic scene unfolds in a Fort Lauderdale street. Why this man hitting a vehicle with a sledgehammer is actually trying to do the right thing? We're also following other major headlines across the U.S. and the world for you this noon, including a deadly crash in Kathmandu. Also, the latest in the mysterious poisoning of a Russian double agent, along with a massive milestone Marvel's latest blockbuster just reached. We're back in a moment.
If you've been
Welcome back, everybody. Turning now to some stories that are making big headlines all across the U.S. and the world for you this noon. And we begin with this. Nearly 50 people are dead after a plane crash in Kathmandu this morning. The plane took off from southern Bangladesh around 6 a.m. and crashed as it landed at the Kathmandu airport in Nepal and burst into flames shortly after impact. At least 49 people are confirmed dead of the 71 people on board that flight. Airport officials say that the plane was approaching the runway from the wrong direction, which likely contributed to the crash. And new developments coming today in the poisoning of that former Russian spy in England. That spy and his daughter remain in critical condition after being exposed to a nerve agent last week. Britain's prime minister will address Parliament within the hour and is expected to point the finger of blame on Russia. Several others, including first responders, came in contact with the nerve agent, but none are seriously hurt. Cell phone video captures the shocking aftermath of a hit-and-run crash in Miami when multiple drivers left their vehicles to try to stop a fleeing car. Take a look at this. Were eventually successful, but some of them went too far and could face destruction of property charges because of it. The man was placed under arrest for the hit and run. And switching gears here, Marvel's box office hit. We're talking about this one. Black Panther joined the $1 billion movie club after its fourth weekend on the top of the box office. Black Panther is the fifth film in the Marvel franchise history to reach this coveted $1 billion milestone after the Avengers Under Ultron, and Iron Man 3 and Captain America's Civil War. Black Panther has made $521 million domestically, the second highest superhero movie of all time. Pretty remarkable. The Star Wars star gets its star of its own. We're talking about Mark Hamill. How about that? He has finally been given a spot on the Hollywood Walk of Fame with 2 stormtroopers standing guard and thousands of fans there to cheer him on. The 66-year-old actor graciously accepted his place on the famous walkway. During the ceremony, he says he was humbled by the recognition.
Words truly fail me. It's hard to convey my gratitude, my joy, the exhilaration of being recognized this way. I haven't been this speechless since Force Awakens.
Oh, wow. It's quite an honor for actors. Hamill now joins more than 2,600 stars on the Hollywood most famous walkway. A woman attacks a street vendor and vandalizes his stall in the streets of southwestern China, but the man that she attacked is the one who is under arrest. The man under arrest is a supposed psychic and predicted that the woman would die in February, so she made the most of the last few months, spending most of her money and not worrying about healthy eating habits. When the man called police to report her vandalizing his booth, police heard the whole story and arrested the man for improper business practice. Also making news this noon, switching gears here. We do want to get you updated on what's ahead with your health and good health. Good news for people with very high cholesterol. The life-saving side effect discovered in a new drug and why it could become a lot cheaper. And over to you, Brandon.
We are trekking snow. It is mid-March snows that are to be expected, I guess. Today, tomorrow, how much to expect and when we can say no mo snow.
Welcome back, everybody. Turning our attention to good health this noon, there's some good news for people with very high cholesterol. There's a new study that suggests that a new medication could significantly cut the risk of death from a heart attack. Now, the results of the study show this anti-cholesterol drug called Praluent may dramatically lower the chances of dying from a heart attack. In the study, the drug reduced rates of heart attack, stroke, and even death by 15%. Researchers will use these findings to try to persuade insurance companies to cover the drug. And Brandon's back, and so's the snow. The graphic looks pretty, but I think a lot of folks are getting to the over it stage.
Yep.
Especially those that were in those zones that got like 9 inches of snow last week.
Yeah, some crazy weather always in March, so we just need to be ready. Let's start with what is a typical day here in Michigan. Of course, this was last Friday when we had snow and crazy weather. Stephanie Armstrong, storm pinner here up in Pontiac, shows the snow-covered trees there. And also on the same day, a little picture there in Pontiac of a winter sun setting, one of the last ones before daylight saving time returned. Local 4 Storm Pins, a free app under WDIV. Check it out. Let me see your pictures. We have upper 20s to low 30s out there. Places like Adrian, where we've had a little more snow, a little more often, seeing cooler temperatures. Same deal in Ann Arbor, but 33 at Metro Airport. Just now starting to see some of that light snow coming in. We're talking about flurries and light snow showers for most of us as this stuff dries out coming from west to east, but there will be a few heavier bands, especially mid to late afternoon, and they can lay down a coating that makes things slick, reduces visibility. Nothing major with accumulation today at all, but that is a little problematic. It just takes a nuisance and makes it more of a problem. 25 overnight, a few more snow showers. Here's a look at what we have currently on 4 Live radar, and you see it's sort of splitting apart, breaking apart. The lighter shades of blue, again, just kind of flurries. Gets a little bit darker coming out of Lansing, so we need to just kind of warn folks in Livingston and in Washtenaw counties that some of that is coming our way. Meantime, today we watch another nor'easter taking shape that's going to ride up the coast here, create some travel issues, maybe some more power issues, problems from this wintry weather into New York, Boston, and then tomorrow, as that nor'easter is set up just offshore of Boston and New York, it sort of is a little blocking pattern for our snowmaker here, and that's why we keep snow chances alive again tomorrow. But notice here at 4 o'clock on the model, this little stripe here, right along 75 and 275. That would be one of those little squalls that we'd have to watch out for. And tomorrow afternoon, they're a little more prevalent. There are just a few more of them, and some could lay down a quick ½ inch to an inch. It's cooler and breezier as well tomorrow, more winter-like, but again, not looking at any big accumulations here. Wednesday through St. Patrick's Day Saturday, round to dry, and notice the warm-up into the 40s by Thursday and flirting with 50s all weekend.
All right, looking good. Thank you, Brandon. University of Michigan and Michigan State University both earning spots in the NCAA tournament. And today, Michigan Attorney General is issuing a warning of a big old scam standing between you and your seat at that tournament. We'll tell you what to watch out for next.
Alton 106.
Welcome back, everybody. Well, with the announcement of both MSU and U of M appearing in the NCAA basketball tournament, March Madness, of course, is upon us.
That's right. Hopefully your alma mater, too, is in the dance. The first 2 rounds will be played here in Detroit at the Little Caesars Arena.
Yeah, Michigan State University will be playing along with a lot of other teams. But before you buy that ticket, the Michigan Attorney General's office has issued an alert about scams. Fans are being urged to be cautious and avoid counterfeit tickets or identity theft. Buyers should work with reputable ticket vendors and pay with a secure credit card to make sure you're protecting yourself.
Yeah, go to clickondetroit.com for more. Tickets are expensive, so you want to make sure you don't get duped.
Absolutely. Thanks for being with us, everybody. Have a good day.